Good morning, Jajasma. It is Monday. It is Gratitude Monday. No, not Gratitude Monday at the kitchen sink. As I promised you guys last week, this week I'll be continuing my life story, and it is really a sit down video. It is a sunny day in Suriname. Well, at least in Paramaribo, it is a sunny day. And I decided to choose this background or this like profile thingy because I feel sunny as well. So, what are you grateful for today? I am grateful for life again, health. I am grateful that this weekend I was able to start cleaning, the yearly cleaning. I'm grateful that I could start cleaning. I'm grateful that I corrected that I started correcting school papers because I was so busy I couldn't do that, and start correcting my students' papers. I am grateful for, yeah, I'm grateful for everything. I am grateful that I could start, sewing my curtains and bed sheets. Yes, I am sewing my own curtains and bed sheets because it is easy. So why spend money on it? So 2 years ago, when I looked at the money that I had to give out to like sew my curtains and my bed sheets, I decided, you know what, I can do this myself. So I 2 years ago, I purchased my own sewing machine, and every year when I have to do curtains and stuff, I do it myself. So, yeah, I am grateful that I was able to do all that. It was again a busy weekend. It was so busy to the point that I couldn't visit my one of my good friends going away party. He is going away, leaving our country with his wife and child. And I felt a little bit sad. I'm feeling a little bit sad that I couldn't go because we had such a good relationship. We had such a connection. When I think about working together with him, we were such a team, man. We were such a team, and he's just an all-around great guy. So I'm so sorry that I couldn't visit him. I hope he listens and he hears that I really, really regret not going, and I will still be visiting him to give him a hug. And yeah, and I wish him all the best on his journey. I know he will be successful. He is successful. He's just a good guy, and he's so intelligent. You will make it, Jason. So, yeah. What are we grateful for today? We done that part, and I advise you guys to do that as well because we need to express our gratitude. I told you guys many times before why you should be grateful. So, say it for yourself, write it down in the comments so you can start, experiencing things start moving for you because complaining will get you nowhere. So, to continue my life story, and why I'm doing this is because it's to show you that prayer, gratitude, and a positive mindset, they do work. So, yeah, last week I spoke about my aunt, my horrible, miserable life with my aunt, growing up in a children's home, my mother who's diagnosed schizophrenic, and yeah, what else? That's what I spoke about last week. So this week I'm going to continue on that, but show you how this situation and prayer and gratitude and positive mindset has an effect on my life to the point where I am right now. I am pretty grateful about my life, and I feel that I am very blessed. So and it's all thanks to God. Nothing for myself. It's everything I have is thanks to God. So when I was small, and I wrote it down because I want to tell you in chronological order. I want to tell you it in order so I don't skip, like go to adult years and don't go back to childhood years. So that's why I wrote it down. So when I was a small child, I already told you guys about, living with my grandmother and my mother who was diagnosed schizophrenic. It was a bit hard, but never was I, like sad or complaining and so on. I realized how life was going, and I was just me and not being sad, not feeling sad for myself. But when I was small, eventually when my grandmother passed away, I I was with my mother, only with my mother then, and I used to pray for my mother because I saw, how her life was, and sometimes I felt a bit sad for her, and I always prayed for my mother, and I prayed that she would be able to see her grandchildren, and that she would be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor, and that I would be able to take care of her when I'm an adult. I pray to God that He shouldn't let her die before she has enjoyed me as an adult. And right now, my mother is living with me, and she has her grandchildren with her because, of course, my children are with me. And yeah, she is able to now enjoy her children, her grandchildren, and me taking care of her. I even brought her to, there was a point when I had to take her out of her own home because she was so sick. I brought her to the doctor and so on and so on, took care of her, bathed her, everything. So yeah, that prayer, it was like, it came to pass. It came to pass. So again, be careful what you pray for. In this case, it is a positive thing, of course, because God granted me my prayer and I am able to take care of my mother. So growing up a little bit more, um, I got a little older and I saw how life was. I didn't grow up with a mother and father in one house, and I didn't know my father until a bit later in my when I was like maybe 6 years, 7 years old. Then or maybe 8 years, I don't know anymore. But I got to know my father a bit late, and I was living only with my mother. And you're a child and you miss like the ideal life. You read about it because I was an only child and I had no TV. So I had to turn to books for my entertainment. And I always read about, like the ideal life of a family, a mother working, cleaning the house and taking care of the children, and then the husband who goes to work and comes home and sits in his sitting chair and, play with the children and talk to the children, read his newspaper or watch TV. And I would always imagine and envision that life for myself. I wanted that life. I wanted, that ideal life that was portrayed in the books. And guys, be careful what you pray for. My husband always says, be careful what you say and be careful what you pray for because you might get it all. Guys, it is true. Right now, I am married. I have 2 children. And that life is literally taking place right now. Of course, I am not only staying home and taking care of the children, but I do work as well. But my husband is literally that type of husband. He does take care of things around the house, but like with the household stuff, that's not my husband. But I love him for it though, because I only have to say like one small thing and he takes care of it. Like the electrical stuff and all the manly, supposed to be manly stuff, he does that. I don't have to worry about anything about that. So yeah, he's like kind of like to me like the perfect husband from the books. And it's even so bad. I always tell him that I should have asked God for a man who also helps around the house as well, because I got everything I prayed for. So yeah, it got even to the point that sometimes we would crawl about this whole situation. But now I learned to live with it, and I'm dealing with it. But I prayed for this, guys. I envisioned it. I saw it literally playing right out before my eyes when I was small. And this is exactly how my life is right now. And I'm thankful. I'm grateful. And I thank God for giving me the life that I prayed for and that I dreamed about. So, guys, prayer works. Envisioning stuff works. Now, moving on to a little bit old. Let me see if I missed a little bit. Yes. So then I went into the children home and lived there for a few years and went back to my aunt when I got a little older. And with all the verbal abuse and everything that went on in with my aunt, I um I was never sad. Of course, you will feel sad, but not to the point that it takes over your whole mood and that you sit around and feel sorry for yourself and that it leaves a mark on your life that, no, my life is miserable and so on and so on. No. I was grateful for my aunt that she took care of me, that she took care of my mother, that she did what she did. I was grateful. I realized when I was small that things happen the way they should happen. I knew that if the government and my aunt did decide to place me in a children's home, that things could have gone worse, bad for me. At a very small age, I realized it, and I was thankful and just accepted it because I knew what was going on, and I accepted. I wasn't feeling sorry, even though I miss my mother, even though I realized that my life was not like other children. I was not sad, and I would take life as it was. And I think that is by the grace of God, because sometimes people will just sit and think and feel sorry for themselves, and start whining, going on in a negative spiral. That didn't happen for me. For some people it comes naturally, and for other people you will have to train your mind to stay positive. And like every time you need to decide for yourself, no, 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 this is not the kind of thinking that I want for myself. I want to do this and that. Okay, so now I'm living with my aunt, and I turned 18 years old, and then my aunt decided that so we're Moravians in Suriname, in Dutch we say EBG, Evangelische Broedergemeente. um they fall under the group Protestants, the religious group of people, Protestants. So they baptize their children when they are young. And those children become older, so when they're baptized, you're baptized upon your parents' belief in God. So they say, I want to baptize my child, and I want to give my child to God and to grow up in God and with God, so that God takes care of them. And when you're older, 18 years old, the Moravians say you need now, and also the Lutherans, they say you now need to go and confirm that belief for yourself, because you're an adult now and you can decide for yourself. So you're not continuing life based upon the belief of your parents, but now as an adult you're going to decide for yourself. So my aunt forced me to go to that lesson, and really I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling like the whole religious thingy. And so even though I prayed to God when I was small, and I knew about God because I would go to Sunday school, I didn't have a relationship with God. And that whole thing to go to the church and follow classes and so on, I wasn't feeling it. Especially because I was obliged to go, so I didn't like it. So, but I had to go since she was the one taking care of me, and she decided I should go. I had to go. And it is there that I got to know God as God and have a relationship with God. And then I got to know God, personal, as a friend, as a father, and so on and so on. So I'm grateful that that happened. So a little bit later in life, when I was living with my aunt, they decided that now it is time for me to go to my mother and live with my mother again. I went to my mother. And when I was home, I told you about the relationship part, because now you will see how prayer works and how talking to God really, had an effect in my life. So when I was with my mother one day, as I was washing clothes on hand, by the way, I didn't have a washing machine. I was washing clothes, and I said, 18, 19 years old back then, or 18. And I said, God, it would be nice for me to have a boyfriend now. But God, And you know that because I think that it's also because I didn't have sisters or brothers, and close friends, that I had only God to talk to. So I spoke to God and I said, God, you know what? My boyfriend should look like, he should be tall, dark skinned, nice broad shoulders, a bit tall and broad and big, And then he should have like not a common name. I want my boyfriend to have a bit of an uncommon name, and he should be from another country. Yeah, God. Even if it's just from Guyana, because I'm in Suriname and my neighboring country is Guyana and French Guyana. And I said to God, even if it's just from Guyana, I'm happy. He should be from another country. And some other stuff I asked God. That's not for, public. That's not for public. My husband doesn't like me to share about life and everything about him, but I want to share this with you guys to show you that prayer works. And those who are close to me, they know this story because I always tell them, when I talk about God and prayer and so on, I tell them how prayer works. So they know this story. So yeah, prayer works. And I want to tell you guys this to show you, to help you to get ahead in life, to move on in life, and to show you what you should do, to be better and to grow better and to improve in life and to get what you want. So yeah, that's what I prayed God about. And a little later, I met like a tall, dark guy. Cute. And we went on, we were friends and so on and so on, talked to each other. And later I realized he was slim back then. Slim, And later I realized, you know what? You have nice shoulders. And a little later, when of course, I heard his name, very uncommon, and I realized that he was originally from Guyana, living in Suriname. So only later in life, like when I was a few years further in the relationship, one moment as I sat down, it dawned to me that, I prayed once in that bedroom years ago when I was washing clothes for this and that and that. Oh my God, that's exactly what I got. That is exactly what I got. Exactly. Everything I prayed for, even the stuff that I didn't tell you about, everything to the point I got. So guys, be careful what you pray for because you might get it all. Be careful what you say with your mouth because you might get it all. Especially if when you pray, you need to say it in all earnestly, and you need to, like, sometimes you just need to leave it there. It's just like when you go to your parents and you ask them something and you expect them to deliver because they're your parents and they won't leave you standing, right? So you just go and you ask them and you know that they will deliver. The same with God. You pray in all earnestly and you need to be specific. I ask for this, that, and that's how you should pray. And you need to believe in God, of course. You need to go with an honest and open heart and a clean heart and ask God for the stuff that you want and already start thanking Him. Start thanking for what you already have and thank Him for answering the prayer that you prayed, and watch stuff turn around for you. It's not like a magical genie or something, but really, God is there to help us. God is there to give you everything you need to get ahead in life. He is there to make you feel happy, and He's there to teach you stuff in life. So guys, why all this again is because if you want to move ahead with a new adventure in your life, if you want to like start a business, start teaching, do anything, whether it's a brick and mortar business or an online business, you need a positive mindset. You need to be able to have a positive belief system. You need to be able to be grateful for what you already have in order to move ahead in life. If you don't have that mindset, a positive mindset, if I was like whining and complaining about my life and how my life was, I wouldn't be here where I am now. You need that mindset in order to move ahead and in order to overcome the difficulties that you will face in life, because stuff will happen. And how you deal with it will decide if you will be successful, if you will achieve what you intend to achieve. So, guys, if you want to move ahead, start practicing these things. Start practicing it, start praying, start being positive. For some people, it comes naturally. For me, it came naturally. I think it is because God already knew what I was in, and He gave me like this kind of attitude, so I can survive, the life that I was living, so I can survive. So it comes a little bit natural to me. Everybody who knows me knows that I'm a positive person. I'm cheerful, and I am grateful. I don't know if they know that I'm grateful, but I am grateful. But overall, I'm positive, and everybody knows that. And but for some people, it comes like, you will have to practice. It's a mental practice, and you will have to realize every time you're turning into like the negative thinking, stop it, stop yourself, and say, no, this is not the kind of thinking that I want. I want to remain positive, and start looking for the stuff in that situation that are positive. Start looking for the lessons you're learning from it, because everything you go through in life is a lesson. And as long as you don't master it, start being grateful for what you have learned, that it will continue to happen until you have learned a lesson from it, in order to move ahead. So be grateful, be positive, and watch stuff turn around for you in your life. You need that mindset if you want to start a business, whether it's brick and mortar or online business. And if you want to start an online business, hit me up. Let me show you the way. Okay, guys, have a grateful week, an awesome Monday, an awesome week. And remember, Jaja Shema, you can do it. You can do everything you put your mind to. Have a grateful week. Bye.